What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Report, and today I bring you an anime review of Kiznaiver, episode 7. I have to commend Studio Trigger for this episode as we finally get the full backstory of Maki and what went on with her and Ruru and why she's so distant to the rest of the Kiznaivers and people in general. Studio Trigger, you know, they're known for their over-the-top, their zany stories ever since the days of Gurren Lagann and anything they may have done before that I can miss out on. And Kill la Kill, if I ever did a top 10, which I probably will one day, is definitely in that list. I mean, the over-the-top zaniness and everything that Studio Trigger is known for, even with their current series, Space Patrol Luluco, which is a spiritual successor to Kill la Kill, is always funny, action-packed, and over-the-top. And even though Kiznaiver isn't doing anything different than any other studio would have done or any other anime have done in this sense, for Studio Trigger to dial it down and to actually give you a full anime series that's about emotions. I mean, Kiznaiver is more like a slice of life than anything that Trigger's ever brought out in their entire career. And to see that they can nail that down and actually do it is something different. It's definitely something good. I would like to see them dip their toe into the water of more different types of genre than just the over-the-top action that they're known for. And I want them to stop doing that. The episodes like this makes me want to get more from this studio as far as branching out to new horizons. So as far as the episode itself goes, again, we finally get Maki's backstory as the crew goes to meet Ruru's parents and find out what happened with Ruru and her death. Find out that Ruru actually had cancer from a very young age, and she died shortly after the book was written. We also find out that Ruru wrote the rest or the last chapter of the manga on her own because that's when her and Maki fell out. Her mother is very upset about this, even though the friends are there saying that Maki did care for her, or at least even though she didn't give off the impression that she cared about her. That made her feel a little bit better to know that Maki did feel something. However, her mom is still very upset because Nico is saying she was hurt, but she wanted to keep those feelings to herself. She didn't want anybody to know how she felt. And that kind of upset her mom, telling them to get out because she abandoned my daughter. She knew what was going on with her, and then she just turned her back on her. Which makes me think, and I kind of insinuate, well, not right away, but once I learned she had cancer, it kind of opened up to me that maybe Maki didn't want to be close to Ruru anymore because they were good friends and they had a very strong feelings about each other. And for her to find out that her friend had cancer, she probably wanted to be distant because she didn't want to have to deal with that hurt of getting so close to someone only for them to die. So a majority of the episode is the crew pretty much trying to get closer to Maki, as they even decide to say, you know what, we're just gonna make her our friend no matter what. So they pretty much decide on a quest to go out and see what they need to do to cheer her up, make her happy, and they're just gonna straight up ask her about what happened with Ruru and what happened with this last chapter, as the entire series of that book they were writing was supposed to have been a description of their true feelings. Even though they were using two characters with different names and even a surname as an author, it was still their feelings with each other. So they're going to read through it, see what happened, and see if they can find out what happened with Maki and Ruru from that point. Maki is, of course, by herself reflecting everything that went on from here. And we see how they met. They both were very quiet. They both were loners at school. But one liked to write, which was Maki, and one liked to draw, which was Ruru. And they both always wanted to do a story or a manga, but the other person had the ability that the other one didn't. Like, Maki was really good at writing, but she couldn't draw, and vice versa for Ruru. So they decided to become friends, come together, and make this book that spread waves across the world right now. It was really a best-selling novel. Of course, Yuta was the only person that she opened up to about any of this, as the rest of the Kiznaivers decided to go try to cheer her up, and you know, they're all outside saying, Maki-san, please be our friend, come out and play with us, you know, that type of thing. And we even see earlier in the episode that Sonozaki is even beginning to feel bad, as we found out she was the one that was trying to do the documentary, maybe in a way to get Maki to express her feelings a little bit more, but she decided to call it off after seeing what she went through, especially after Kazuhiro expressed disappointment in her on what she was trying to do. So I don't know, that's kind of up in the air. Maybe he knew what she was doing, but maybe he was just upset that she's not joining everybody else. So we get with Yuta, who has the manga volume, and he read it earlier on and said that the manga fell flat near the end, as we did find out that Ruru wrote the book on her own. She wrote the conclusion on her own once Maki went away. And Maki never read the last volume of the book, and the reason why she didn't is because the backstory that her and Ruru had. Again, as I mentioned, the manga that they wrote were about their true feelings for each other. And Ruru was actually almost her first sexual encounter, as they were writing a book about two friends who liked each other. And Ruru, kind of pressed herself on her, but Maki pushed her away and said, I don't want to go into that. She did have feelings for her, she just didn't want to be like that. And once those feelings started to come out, Maki began to push Ruru away, knowing that she had cancer and that she would die one day, because they did almost get into a relationship, but that would hurt her really much to fall in love with her, only for her to die. So that's when she started pushing Ruru away. And once that happened, Ruru said that we have to write this book no matter what, and the ending is going to be something special. The heroine is going to die, so we need to express our feelings for that. Thus, she dies afterwards and writes the book on her own. And Maki never read the rest of the book because she thought it was going to be a hateful letter to her, because it seems like maybe she was joking, but Ruru said that when this is all over, I'm going to curse you for the rest of your life and you're going to love no one but me forever. So maybe she took that the wrong way, but she did look kind of crazy when she said it. But that always scared her into reading the last volume, because she thought maybe it ended in some type of dark, twisted way. However, Yuta was able to get through to her because she's been opening it up to him more than anybody. And she says, you know what? I will read it, even after he urged her a little bit. She's like, I'll go ahead and read it, but first you guys gotta do something for me. So she goes back to the rest of the Kiznaivers who are gonna do fireworks or some type of display. They're just trying everything they can to get her to open her feelings up. And she says she wants them all to go jump in the lake, in the rain, in the dark, and it's cold. And they're kind of resistant for it at first, but Yuta is the first person who runs and just jumps in the water. That makes everybody else jump into it as well. And to see them having fun for her, at the sake of her, actually brings a smile to her face as she reads the conclusion of the manga. And she sees that it was actually a sweet letter from Ruru thanking her for being a friend and for the love that she had for her, which actually caused Maki to actually smile for the first time in the entire series, and her arm lights up yellow like everybody else. As they said, they didn't feel pain, they felt something else. So I wonder if we're finally getting closer to the mental or the brain capacity link that they can share, because they share pain, they share emotional hurt. Now it seems like they're sharing happiness right now, because Maki's finally happy, she's at peace with her friend. She admits that when she said she killed her friend, she killed her in a sense that she wasn't the same anymore after she became distant with her. She wasn't a happy person, because this person was your best friend. You're dying, and she felt like she turned her back on her. So that's what she meant by she killed Ruru, not physically. So we finally get a smile out of Maki as she actually accepts the Kiznaivers as her friend, to Nico's happiness, because Nico wanted to be her friend more than anybody. And Maki says that now that we're Kiznaivers, now that we're connected by emotional and physical pain and all this stuff that we'll go through, that makes us more than friends, because we're almost in one body. And that ended the episode, as again, it was very emotionally charged. The music was on point, the visuals was on point when people were sitting by themselves and reflecting. And again, I have to clap my hands for Trigger for this, for giving us a new look at the way that they can do things, besides them blowing things up and everything being over the top. So that was the episode in a nutshell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you still watching Kiznaiver right now, or do you expect some type of big battle? I don't think so at the end. I think this is just going to be some big slice of life about people getting to know each other and some type of emotional connection. Even though the Kizuna system is kind of taking a back seat right now, we only got about 5 or 6 episodes. I'm pretty sure something's going to come along. This might even get a season 2, because it seems like there's still some things that they need to wrap up. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Go ahead and drop the video a like if you liked it, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as I continue to bring you guys content in this hype spring season. Summer's coming up, and we got a lot of good things coming for that as well. So as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and for that I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. It's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.